I'm Heather Doss, the owner and founder of Progressive Pilgrimage, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what you might expect when you plan your pilgrimage. If you don't already know what a pilgrimage is, or you're not sure where to go on a pilgrimage, check out our other videos on those topics. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic right now, and travel is the last thing on many people's minds. But it takes more than 18 months to plan a pilgrimage for a group. And so we encourage you to start thinking now about the process so that when travel is safe again, you can be ready to go with your church or your group. We do recommend starting about 18 months in advance by gathering a group of key leaders. These are the folks that are going to decide where you should go on your pilgrimage, what time of year is the best time to go. And they're the folks who are going to figure out if there's enough interest to get a group together. We often tell people to go by the rule of 50%. It's usually only about half the people who say they're interested, even the ones who say they're really interested. It's usually about half who end up being able to enroll in your pilgrimage. So we want our groups to look for a minimum of 25 people who say that they're interested to make sure they have enough to generate a group. One of the things you might be wondering about a pilgrimage is how much does it cost? Of course, the price can vary greatly depending on where you go, what time of year you go, whether you require luxury accommodations or your group is satisfied with a hostel or budget accommodations. Most of our groups fall somewhere in the middle with mid-range accommodations. And we find that a pilgrimage usually costs about $250 per person per day as a land cost. So a 10-day pilgrimage would cost about $2,500 in land costs plus your airfare. It's really hard for me to predict your airfare. It depends on where you live in the country, what time of year you're traveling. But I can tell you that group airfare is not usually cheaper than individual tickets, but it does provide a lot more flexibility that is really worth it if you're traveling as a group, all originating from the same airport. Another thing you might be wondering is when you should go on a pilgrimage. There are so many different factors to consider. If your pilgrimage is going to draw school teachers or school children, it might be important to travel in the summer. Of course, the downside here is that the crowds can be bigger and the prices can be higher. You could also travel in the winter. The crowds are thin, but of course the weather's bad. Can be anyways. We love to travel in the shoulder season. When exactly the shoulder season is varies from location to location, but it's usually sometime in the late spring and late fall. Another thing you might want to think about as a religious traveler is whether there's a holiday that's important to you. Often we avoid the holidays when we travel, but for pilgrims it might be particularly meaningful to be in Jerusalem on Easter Sunday, or to climb Croagh Patrick in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. So you might think about what holidays to avoid, or if there are holidays that you particularly want to celebrate. Once your key leaders have made those decisions and seen that there's enough interest in a pilgrimage, we will work with you to finalize the dates, to finalize the itinerary, to secure your airfare, your accommodations, and provide the educational resources you need to make your pilgrimage meaningful. We like to have all of those details worked out at least 12 months before your departure date so that you have plenty of time to recruit and promote your pilgrimage and to prepare your travelers. And in that process, we'll provide you with a website and a registration page. We will collect the payments. We'll provide you with brochures or posters or postcards, a PowerPoint presentation, whatever it is that will help you promote the trip in your own setting. Along the way, we'll also provide you with educational resources that alert your travelers to the many facets, historical, political, theological, spiritual, that they might want to consider as they prepare for a pilgrimage. We love getting to know our customers and working with them closely and intimately to shape the journey that is exactly what you and your congregation imagine. I hope we'll have a chance to work with you in the future, and Godspeed on your journeys.